Shall we start? Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. With the blessings of our Kanchi Kamakoti Shankaracharya Swamiji, we have great pleasure in starting a new series of explanatory lectures on Mookapanchashati today under the auspices of the Kamakoti Bhakti Kendra. I don't think I need to spend much time in introducing Mookapanchashati because that is well known because of the efforts of Kancha Kamakoti Pitham. The text of Mookapanchashati, the glory of Mookapanchashati has become well known to most people. But still, a few words. There was a deaf mute in Kamakshi temple. He was under long spells of meditation on Kamakshi. Once Devi Kamakshi appeared in the night and deposited her tambulam, chewed betel nut, in his mouth, and he became an instant Kavi. At that time, the Shankaracharya of Kanchi Kamakoti Pitham was Sri Vidyaghanendra Saraswati. He heard about this. He heard that this Mooka Shankara has become an instant Kavi and he has rendered this Mookapanchashati. Panchashati means 500 verses made by Mooka. Mooka means mute, dumb. Now, the earlier Acharya ordained him as the new Acharya and he became Mooka Shankarendra Saraswati and he was the Shankaracharya adorning the Kamakoti Pitham from 399 to 437 AD. And a very noteworthy feature of the period when he was Shankaracharya is that not only people from the southern part of Bharat, but even from northern part of Bharat, King Vikramaditya of Ujjain and Kashmiri kings, Matrugupta and Prabarasena. Now these two names appear in Rajatarangini in the history of kings of Kashmir. They are well-known kings, very good kings. Now these two kings had a lot of reverence and respect for our Kanchi Acharya, for Mooka Shankarendra Saraswati. They considered it a rare privilege to be at the feet of this Mooka Shankara Acharya. Now Mooka Panchashati is a poem in praise of Devi Kamakshi. There are 5 shatakas, each 100 slokas. Arya Shatakam, Padaravinda Shatakam, Stuti Shatakam, Kataksha Shatakam, and Mandasmita Shatakam. What you find special in these 500 verses is the height of devotion of this Mooka Shankara, because it is not a composition for which an attempt was made to write. It is a composition which spurted out from his innermost being after being blessed by Devi Kamakshi herself. So it bears the imprint of the height of devotion. And in fact, it's not just the height of devotion, it is the feeling of unity with Brahman. He is in the highest jnana state, highest samadhi state when he sang these verses. It is very obvious from the text itself. There is a lot of description of nature. There are a lot of Puranic references. A lot of rasas are covered. All the rasas are covered in different contexts. And Sanskrit grammar, there are 2 alankaras, Shabda Alankara and Artha Alankara. Shabda Alankara is alliteration, yamakas, etc. And Arthalankara is similes, metaphors, puns, etc. Now you find all of this in plenty in these slokas. One more thing which we have to see is the diction, the words that he uses, the expressions that he chooses are not very usual. Not very usual. You not commonly found in other similar slokas, stotras. They are complex and not grasped easily in one go. The meaning or the implied meaning, what the poet has in mind, is not easy to grasp in one go. So, in order to understand fully the imagination, the thought process of the poet, one has to go over the meaning again and again, because not only the thoughts are unique and complex, they are also not continuous from verse to verse. Each verse is a speciality by itself. And now we are starting the series in the sacred period of Navaratri, especially sacred for Devi Puja, Navaratri middle. Today is Shashti. Shashti is associated with Subramanya, as all of us know, and Subramanya is known for blessing us with jnana. And sixth day of Navaratri is associated with Katyayani Devi, Devi Katyayani. Now, Devi blessed the sage Katyayana and became his daughter. So this is the day of great blessing of Devi Katyayani. And Devi Katyayani is worshipped for girls to get married. And she is also hailed as Mahishasura Mardini. Katyayani is hailed as Mahishasura Mardini. So let her remove all our Rajo and Tamo gunas. Let us pray. Now Shashti is also associated with Shashti Devi. Now Devi Bhagavatam talks about Shashti Devi, who is Devasena, the consort of Subramanya. Now Shashti Devi is associated with protection of newborn babies, children, etc. So we have a lot of significance for today. And with the blessings of our Acharya, we start. So, Mami, please start with the first shloka. Arya Shatakam. Namaskaram. Arya Shatakam is the first of the 5 Shatakas. Arya means respected Devi, respected woman is Arya. Arya is also the name of the Chandas, the meter in these 100 verses. Now, Karana Parachidrupa. Chidrupa, Sat Chit Ananda. We all know Parabrahma is of the form of Sat Chit Ananda, existence, consciousness, and bliss. Now, Chit is consciousness. Now, consciousness in the Nirguna Brahma stage has no form. Nirguna Brahma has no form, formless, Nirakara. But here it says Chit Rupa, because Chit has taken a form, a Rupa, that is Kamakshi. Now, why he says Parachidrupa? Para means supreme. That means there are other Chidrupas, and this Chidrupa is superior to other Chidrupas. That is one kind of explanation we can think of. Now, other Chidrupas, in fact, all of us are Chidrupas, but we don't recognize that we are Chidrupas. We recognize ourselves as humans. But there are yogis who have no sense of body consciousness. So they are real Chidrupas. So considering all those Chidrupas, she is the superior Chidrupa. So Parachidrupa. Now Karana. Karana is the cause of all Chaitanya in all jivas. Now all jivas have got Chaitanya. Now this Chaitanya is blessed only by Devi. That is why she is the Karana of all Chaitanya, of all Chit. All Chit comes from her. So she is Karana. And there may be other Chidrupas and she is Parachidrupa. Kanchipura Simni Kamapitha Gata. Kanchipura Simni. Sima means normally a boundary. It can also mean a field, an area. In the area of Kanchipura, Devi is adorning Kama Pitha Gata. Kama Pitha Gata. She is adorning Kama Pitha. Now, as all of us know, there are 108 Shakti Pithas. There are 108 Shakti Pithas. Is it okay now? Hello? Okay. I don't know what you missed. Anyway, okay. Now, there are 108 Shakti Pithas, out of which 18 are specially great. And 3 are the best out of these Shakti Pithas. This is as per Kamakshi Vilasam. Kamakshi Vilasam says all this. And those 3 are Kamaraja Pitham in Kanchipuram, Jalandhara Pitham in Jwalamukhi, and Odyana Pitham in Kamarupa, Assam. Now, Kamaraja Pitham in Kanchipuram is the one which is known as also Vagbhava Kuta. It was worshipped by Hayagriva. This is what is described in Kamakshi Vilasam. So, Kamaraja Pitha, Kama Pitha is one of the 3 greatest Pithas out of 108 Shakti Pithas. So, Kama Pitha Gata. So, Kamakshi is sitting in Kama Pitham. Kachana Viharati Karuna. Kachana. Kachana is a very interesting expression. You don't find this expression in any other poem of any great poet. Very rarely used expression. Kachana means someone, some female. Kashchana means some male. Kachana, some female. So if I meet some female whom I don't know, to whom I have not been introduced, I will say Kachana. I have met Kachana, someone. Now why he knows he is talking about Kamakshi Devi, why he is using the expression Kachana. Kachana means someone. Now here, it is not because he doesn't know Kamakshi Devi, it is because he says he cannot describe her with any words. She is beyond description, beyond the ken of words. Yato vacho nivartante apraapya manasa saha. So says the Veda. So, where words and even mind go back without being able to describe Devi, how can I describe? So he says Kachana. It's a very beautiful way of expressing his humility and the glory of Devi. Kachana Viharati. Viharati means she is sporting. She is sporting in Kanchipuram. Karuna. Now, she is Karuna, he says. Karuna is a quality. Karuna is not a person. Karuna means compassion. We all know. Now, he says she is Karuna. He could have said she is Karunavati. But he didn't say that. He says Karuna. That means compassion personified. She is nothing but compassion. Embodiment of compassion. So he wants to emphasize that. So he said Karuna. Kashmira Stabaka Komalanga Lata. Kashmira means saffron, which is available in Kashmir. Stabaka means the bunch of flowers, the bunch of Kashmir flowers, bunch of saffron flowers. Komala. Devi is as soft, as gentle as a bunch of saffron flowers, and she is creeper-like, Lata. That means she is so gentle, so soft, full of Karuna. Karuna is associated with softness, gentleness. So he is giving this, immediately after Karuna, he is giving this, Kashmira Stabaka Komalanga. So she is the cause of all consciousness. She is seated in Kanchipura. She is adorning the Kamapitha, Kamakoti Pitha. Kamakoti Pitha, Kamaraja Pitha, all are same. And here he says Kamapitha. And she is beyond the ken of words and thoughts. She is compassion personified. She is as gentle and as soft as a bunch of saffron flowers, and she is creeper like. So let's go to the next one. Mummy. Avalambe. Avalambe means I take support. Avalambanam is a support. I take support. I surrender. I take refuge. I take support of this Devi. Which Devi? Kanchana. Some Devi. Again, he is following the same style of expression as he did last time. Kachana. Now he says Kanchana. Someone. That Devi who is seated in Kanchi. Kanchi Nilayam. Nilayam means abode. Whose abode is in Kanchi. Karadhrita, Kodanda, Bana, Srini, Pasham. There are four items which he is mentioning which are held in four hands of the Devi. Karadhrita. Dhrita means held, held in the hand. Kodanda means bow, bow of sugar cane. Bana, Bana means arrow, arrow of flowers. Srini means goad, Ankusha. Pasha means rope. So these four are Pasha, Ankusha, arrow of flowers, and Kodanda, bow of sugar cane. Now, this four have got a lot of spiritual significance. Lalita Sahasranama, as you all know, says, Ragaswarupa Pashadhya Krodhakarang Kushojjvala Manorupekshu Kodanda Panchatanmatra Sayaka. These four are given there with some description. Now, Kodanda is Manorupa Ikshu Kodanda, sugarcane Kodanda, bow. It is only manas, the mind of the devotee. Pancha Tanmatra Sayaka. Sayaka means arrow. Pancha Tanmatra. There are five flower arrows. Now those five flowers are five Tanmatras. Tanmatras are quality of the Panchabhutas. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. These are the Pancha Tanmatras. These are the Tanmatras which become Vishayas for the Indriyas. So they are mentioned here. Because it is through the Indriyas, Vishayas are grasped by Manas. So Manas and Panchatanmatras go together. Now these two are also known as Kriya Shakti because all Kriyas happen through Indriyas. So Manorupekshu Kodanda Panchatanmatra Sayaka stand for Kriya Shakti. This is another interpretation. Ragaswarupa Pashadhya Krodhakarang Kushojjvala. Pasha is Raga, attachment, and Ankusha, that is Srini, what we saw, is Krodha, anger. Now, why she is holding all this Raga, Krodha, attachment, anger, the five Tanmatras and Manas? Now, these are the ones which if we hold with us, are going to cause us harm, cause us trouble. So, in order to free us from the trouble caused by these various elements, various mischievous elements, we have to surrender ourselves to Devi, and she takes all these things from us and holds with her so that they don't bother us anymore, and we are pure Sattva Guna. We are not obsessed with Raga, Krodha, all these Indriya Vyaparas. That is the idea. And the other interpretation was the Kodanda and the Sayaka stand for Kriya Shakti. Raga Swarupa Shadya stands for Ichha Shakti because Pasha is the one which is attachment, bondage. So you have the bondage, which is in the form of Ichha. And Krodhakara Ankusha Ujjvala, that is Jnana Shakti, because with Jnana, you have to exercise Krodha to burn away your karmas, to burn away all evil tendencies. So that is another interpretation. So next one is Kashina Stanabhara Namram. Now here you find that this kind of description of the female form you find in plenty in all these 500 verses, particularly in Arya Shatakam, in the first 100 verses. Now, this is not to be interpreted in a very ordinary manner. This is because the poet has identified himself with Devi, as I mentioned in the introductory remarks. He is in a state of samadhi, so he is seeing Devi in his own form and he is describing. So that is how we should understand it. Katina Stanabhara Namram. Katina means hard, Stana is bosom, Bhara is fulsome, large, Namram. Because of the large, hard bosom, the body stoops down. Namra means stoops down, bend. There is a bend in the back, bend in the back. That is what she says. So this is the description of the form. Kaivalya Ananda Kandam Avalambe. I take support in Kaivalya Ananda Kandam. Kaivalya means moksha. Actually, Kevala means being alone. Kaivalya means the state of being alone. When you are alone with no other thoughts, when you have realized that you are Brahman, you will see only Brahman everywhere. You will not see anything other than Brahman. You have yourself become Brahman. You see Brahman everywhere. So you are alone. There is nothing other than Brahman for you to realize, for you to understand, for you to perceive. So that is the state of Kaivalya. Ananda, naturally that state is full of bliss. Sati Chiti Ananda. So Kaivalya Ananda Kandam. Kanda means the root. The vegetables, some have root, na? So that is called Kanda, bulbous root. Now that means she is the root cause of all the Ananda which we all have. We may not have Kaivalya Ananda, but we have some Ananda, a, a part of that Kaivalya Ananda, which drives us towards that Kaivalya Ananda. That is why we have got human birth, so that we will strive towards Kaivalya Ananda. And for that purpose, she is giving us a little bit of Ananda. So she is the root cause of all Ananda, which is felt by every being everywhere in all the universe. So she is Ananda Kanda, the root cause of Ananda, which is associated with Kaivalya, and that Devi I take support in, who is seated in Kanchi, who is having the four items in her hands, and who is bent down because of her bosom, and she is the root cause of Kaivalya Ananda. We go to the next one. Now he is describing Devi, and then he says, "Me chittam shishirayatu." May that Devi, may means my, chittam means mind, shishirayatu, cool down. May that Devi cool down my mind. Which Devi? He is giving the description. Chintita phala pariposhana chintamanihi eva. Chintamanihi eva. She eva means only. She is Chintamani only. She is not anything other than Chintamani. That is for emphasis. Chintamani, as we all know, is a stone which will give you whatever you ask for. Even mentally, you don't have to say it in words. Even if you think of something, it will immediately materialize. That is Chintamani. Now, Chintita Phala Pariposhana Chintamani. So she is Chintamani for all of us, for all devotees, because she is Chintita Phala Pariposhana. Chintita, whatever you think of, Phala, that fruit, whatever you think of, that fruit, Pariposhana. Pariposhana normally means nourishing. Here it means making available, giving. So she is giving you, she is bestowing on you whatever fruits you think of, like a Chintamani. So she is Chintamani alone. And she is seated in Kanchi, Kanchi Nilaya. Chiratara Sucharita Sulabha. Now, Devi is difficult to attain. We all know. It's not easy. But here he says she is Sulabha, easy to attain. What does he mean? Easy to attain. For whom she is easy to attain? Sucharita, for those with good conduct. Sucharita, good conduct. Good conduct means whose conduct is spotless, whose conduct is exactly as laid down in Vedas and Shastras. That is Sucharita. Now, Sucharita also should be consistent. If you are having Sucharita in 1 month, next month you have allowed your Indriyas to lead you wherever they want to, then you are not consistently Sucharita. That is why he is emphasizing that aspect by saying Chiratara Sucharita. Chira means for long, Chiratara means very long, comparative degree. So, if you have been consistently for a very long time having good conduct, then for you, Devi is easy to attain. Chiratara Sucharita Sulabha. Now, consistency over a long period of time is required, is important. Any sadhana, if you don't do consistently for a long time, it's not going to be of much help. That we all know. Any sadhana for that matter, whether it is japa, whether it is Veda Adhyayana, whether it is study of some books, whether it is Parayana, whether it is singing, anything. Now, all this can help you only if you are consistent in that sadhana, because if you are not consistent, you will return to your tendencies which are not very good, which might have led you down an evil path in the past, which will again lead you to the same evil path. So that is Chiratara Sucharita Sulabha Chittam Shishirayatu Chit Sukha Adhara. Chit Sukha Adhara. Now it is similar to Kaivalya Ananda Kandam, which we saw in the earlier sloka. Chit Sukha. Chit is consciousness, which is associated with Devi, which is associated with Parabrahman. Now that bliss, which is associated with her, with consciousness, and she is the Adhara, she is the basis of that Chit Sukha, which we also experience. At least we experience once in a way when we are chanting a stotra, when we are meditating on Devi. At least once in a way, we experience that Chit Sukha. Now, who is giving us that Chit Sukha? She is the Adhara of all Chit Sukha. It can also be interpreted, yeah. Yeah, who is speaking? Who is speaking? Hello, who is speaking? Somebody said first line to be explained again. I was asking who is speaking. Okay, okay. She is not. Okay, fine. Okay, I will come back to that. So, Chitsukadhara can also be explained as bliss of Chaitanya and basis of all the universe. She is the bliss of Chaitanya. She is Chitsukha. That is, instead of combining it as Chitsukha Adhara, Chitsukha is one attribute, Adhara is another attribute. Chitsukha, she is Chitsukha personified, she is the bliss personified, and she is also Adhara, she is the basis of the universe. This is the second explanation. Now, the question was regarding the first one, Chintita Phala Priposhana Chintamani. I said Chintamani gives whatever you ask for. Now she is like Chintamani, whatever you ask for, she gives. Chintita Phala. Chintita means whatever you think of. Phala is the fruit. Whatever fruit you want, that she, Pariposhana, she gives. Is it clear now? Shall we move on to the next one? Yeah, okay, next one. Again, description of the form of Devi. Devi is Kancham Vihritim Kurute. She is sporting in Kanchi. Kancham in Kanchi. Vihriti is sport. Vihara, Vihriti, sport. She is sporting. Leela. Kurute, she is doing. She is doing Leela, she is doing sport. And now the description is coming. Kutila Kacham. Kacham means hair. Kutila means curly. Curly hair. She is having curly hair because curly hair is supposed to be beautiful. Kathina Kucham. Hard bosom. Kucham bosom. Kathina hard. Kundasmita Kanti Kunkuma Chayam. Kanti. Kanti means radiance, shine. Smita means gentle smile. Gentle smile is Smita. Kunda is jasmine, mullai in Tamil, kind of jasmine. Now, her gentle smile is as gentle, as soft as Kunda flower, and it has the radiance of the Kunda flower, Kanti. It has the softness, it has the radiance of the Kunda flower, Kunda Smita Kanti. Kunkuma Chayam. Chaya means you can have two meanings. One is color, another is beauty. She is having the color, red color, and she is also having the beauty of saffron. Kunkuma Chayam. Kulaparvata Sarvabhauma Sarvasvam. Kulaparvata. Kulaparvata means Parvata is a mountain. Kulaparvata, there are 7 principal mountains, important mountains in Bharata Desha. They are known as Kulaparvatas. They are known as Kulaparvatas in all our Shastras. Mahendro Malayasyaha Shuktiman Rukshaparvataha Vindhyascha Pariyatrascha Saptaite Kulaparvataha. These are the 7 Kulaparvatas. Mahendra, Malaya, Sakhyadri, Shuktiman, Rukshaparvata, Vindhya, and Pariyatra. These are the Kulaparvatas. Now here he says, for all these 7 Kulaparvatas, Sarvabhauma means Chakravarti, emperor. There is an emperor for all these 7 Kulaparvatas. Who is the Chakravarti? He is Himavan. Himavan is the Chakravarti of all these Kulaparvatas. These Kulaparvatas are very sacred. Even if you visit any one of these Kulaparvatas, it will add to your punya. And Himavan is topping the list. So he is the Sarvabhauma. He is the Chakravarti of these Kulaparvatas. Sarvaswam. Sarvaswam means all in all. Sarvaswam means all in all. Now Devi is the all in all of Himavan, naturally. Devi blessed Himavan by becoming his daughter. Naturally, she is the Sarvaswam. She is the all in all for Himavan, who is the Chakravarti of Kulaparvatas. So the description is curly hair, hard bosom, gentle, beautiful, radiant smile like Kunda flower, color and beauty like Kunkuma, like saffron. She is sporting in Kanchi, and she is the all in all. She is the only support. Without her, Himavan is nobody. That's what it means. Sarvaswam, all in all. She is the all in all of the Chakravarti of Kulaparvatas, who is Himavan. Yeah, we go to the next one. Here again we have Kachana, someone, that some Devi. She is Kumari. She is a young woman. Kumari means young woman. Normally up to 16 years is called Kumari as per Shastras. Kachana Kumari. Now the description. Panchashara Shastra Bodhana Paramacharyena Drishtipatena Kamajayataram Mohayati Kanchi Simni. In the area of Kanchi. In the area of Kanchi, she is doing this. What she is doing? Drishtipatena, by her look. By her look. Drishti is look. By her look. Pata means dropping. By her application of the look. By her look. Now, how is her look? That look is described very nicely. Panchashara Shastra Bodhana Paramacharya. Panchashara is Manmatha. The one with 5 arrows, 5 flower arrows he is having. That is why he is called Panchashara. Those are described in Shastras. Aravindam, Ashokam cha, Jyotam cha, Navamallika, Neelotpalam cha, Panchayate, Panchabanascha, Sayakaha. These are the 5 flower arrows. One is lotus, Aravinda. Next is Ashoka. Next is Chuta. Chuta means mango. Next is Navamallika. Next is Nilotpala, blue lily. Now these are the five Panchabanas which Manmatha is having. Panchashara. Now Shastra. Manmatha's Shastra. What is Manmatha's Shastra? Love, erotics. That is his speciality. Bodhana, teaching. Teaching of the Shastra of Manmatha. That is teaching of love. Now, the teaching of love, many people may be able to do. Many people will be able to do. But who is the Paramacharya in that teaching? Paramacharya means supreme teacher. Who is, there may be many teachers, there may be many acharyas of this science of love. But who is the Paramacharya? That is, this Drishtipata is the Paramacharya. That is Devi's look, Devi's kataksha, Devi's sidelong glance is the Paramacharya, is the supreme teacher of this science of love. In teaching, Bodhana, Panchashara Shastra, the science of love. Now, as I said, many can be teachers, good teachers, acharyas, but her Drishtipata is the supreme teacher. Now, what does she do with that Drishtipata? She is Kama Jayataram Mohayati. Kama Jayataram. Kama Jayatara is Shiva. Kama is Manmatha, another name of Panchashara. Kama is Manmatha. Jayatara means one who has conquered. Jaya, Jayatara. One who has achieved Jaya. That means one who has achieved victory over Kama. Who is that? Shiva. Now, Drishtipatena Kama Jayataram Mohayati. By her look, she is able to delude. Mohayati. She is able to create moha, delusion in Shiva. Shiva is beyond all delusion. He is the annihilator of Manmatha. He burnt Manmatha to ashes by opening his third eye. Such Shiva, she is able to delude, subject to moha by her Drishtipata. How? By her mere look, by her mere kataksha. Why? How? Because that Drishtipata is the supreme teacher of the science of love. And she is seated in Kanchi. Kanchi Simni Kamajayataram Mohayati. Now Kamajayatara is Ekamreshwara in Kanchi. Yeah, we go to next one. In the second line, he says, Paratantra Vayam Anaya. Anaya means by this Devi, by this woman, by this Devi. Vayam means we. By this Devi, we have become Paratantra. Paratantra means opposite of Swatantra. We have lost our independence. We have become slaves. We have lost our will. We don't have anything to think of as our own. There is nothing our own. Everything is hers. We have become Paratantra. Vayam Anaya Paratantra. By her, we have become Paratantra. Now, who is that Devi, that description? Paraya. Para Shakti we say, isn't it? Para means supreme. There is nobody above her. That is supreme. Paraya means by that supreme Devi. Kanchi Puraya, who lives in Kanchipuram. Kanchi Puraya, who lives in Kanchipuram. Parvata Paryaya Pina Kucha Kucha Bharaya. This is another description again of the Bhusam. Kucha Bharaya, heavy, fulsome Bhusam. Pina means large. Parvata Paryaya. Paryaya means similar to Parvata, mountain. Large as a mountain. Bharaya, fulsome. Kucha, that is Bhusam. Pankaja Sabbrahmachari Lochanaya. Lochana means eyes. Now he is describing her eyes. Normally we find descriptions of eyes similar to Pankaja, similar to lotus. Vishnu is always described as Pankaja Aksha, Pankaja Lochana, isn't it? Similarly, Devi is also described as Pankaja Lochana. He could have said Pankaja Lochanaya. That would have been enough, isn't it? Pankaja Lochanaya means one whose eyes are, by one whose eyes are similar to lotus. But he is using a word in between. Sabbrahmachari. Sabbrahmachari means Brahmachari is a student. A student in Gurukulam is called Brahmachari, who is a student of Veda. Sub-Brahmachari means a co-student, a fellow student. A fellow student. Now, what the poet is saying is, Devi's eye is a co-student of Pankaja, lotus. Both are students. Now, she is co-student. Now, why he is saying that? Because in other shlokas, he is going to say, her Lochana is defeating Pankaja. Pankaja is no match to her eyes. He is going to say that. We all know. Pankaja cannot stand comparison to her eyes. So, if he says Pankaja Lochana, it will mean Pankaja can stand comparison to her Lochana, to her eyes. So, he doesn't want to say that. So, he says Pankaja Sabbrahmachari Lochana. That means eyes which are having a co-student in Pankaja, in lotus. That means that co-student is not as good as this Lochana. Pankaja is not as good. The Pankaja is a weaker student. That is what is the implication. That's why he is bringing the concept of co-student. Otherwise, he would have said like Pankaja. If he say like Pankaja, then it becomes the two are equal. The two are become similar. He doesn't want to say that. So he says Pankaja Sabbrahmachari, a co-student of Pankaja. So she is supreme. She is seated in Kanchipura. What is that? Anything? No. Okay. Devi is supreme. Devi is seated in Kanchipuram. Devi's bosom is described as large. And the devotee has become subservient, totally slavish to her will. I have no will of mine. That is the height of surrender, height of Sharanagati. Now, Paratantra Vayam Anaya, very important. Height of Sharanagati is mentioned here. And her eyes, though they are matched to Pankaja, they are not really a match to lotus, because lotus is only a secondary, subservient, weaker co-student. That's the meaning. Yeah, we will go to the next one. The very famous sloka, which is chanted in our puja in Srimatam, in regular sloka chanting at the end of the puja. Chakasti, Devi is shining. Chakasti means shines. Devi shines in Kanchipuram. Now, again another description. Aishwaryam Indu Maulehe. Indu Mauli is Shiva. Indu is moon. Mauli means head. One who is having moon on his head. That is Shiva. Now, Devi is the Aishwarya of Indu Mauli. Aishwarya means wealth. An unsurpassed, unparalleled wealth of Shiva. Aishwaryam Indu Maulehe. Aikatya Prakritihi. Now, normally, Devi, the feminine aspect, is associated with Prakriti. If you take Shiva and Shakti as two centers of Parabrahman, then Prakriti is Shakti. Prakriti means nature. Prakriti is Maya, the one which is associated with the universe, with the creation, protection and destruction of the universe. Anything associated with universe, creation and so on is Prakriti. That's why it's called Prakriti. Kriti means doing something. She is doing something special. That is a Prakriti, Prakrishtena Kriti. That is special. What is that special Kriti? That is the universe. Who can create the universe? Only she can create it. And that, how does she do? She does it by her Maya, by her power of Maya. Now, Brahman, as we all know, has got this power of Maya. Brahman has got this power of Maya, which is inseparable from the quality of Brahman. You cannot imagine Brahman without Maya. Brahman and Maya go together. Whenever Brahman wants to create, Brahman activates this Maya Shakti and the universe is created. That is what the Shastra says, the Vedas say. Now, what he is saying here is Aikatmya Prakriti. Aikatmya means being Ekatmya. There's a little mistake in the screen verse. It says Aikatmya. It should be Aikatmya, longer. Ka is long. Aikatmya. Now, Aikatmya Prakriti. Ekatma means being one. Ekatma means being one, not two. Being one is Ekatma. Ekatmya, Aikatmya. Ekatmya, Aikatmya. Ekatmya is the quality of being one. Aikatmya also means the same, quality of being one. Now, quality of being one, the Prakriti has got the quality of being one. Being one with what? With Brahman, obviously. Because Brahman is Nirguna, Nirakara. For the sake of blessing the devotees, she takes the form of Kamakshi. She takes the form of Devi. And for taking the form of Devi, she is using her Shakti, that is Prakriti. So Brahman and Shakti are one and the same. They are not two. That he is emphasizing here by saying Aikatmya Prakriti. Prakriti, she is Prakriti, no doubt, because she is having a feminine form. She is associated with us, with the universe, with us devotees. So she is Prakriti. But she is no different from Brahman. She is having Aikatmya with Brahman. So Aikatmya Prakriti. Kanchi Madhyagatam. She is in the center of Kanchipuram. Aindava Kishora Shekharam. Aindava is connected with Indu. Indu means moon. Aindava of the moon. Kishora Aindava. Kishora means Balachandra, young moon. Crescent moon. Crescent moon, young moon, is on her head. Shekhara means head. She is having on her crest the crescent moon. Aindava Kishora Shekharam. Nigamanam Aidamparyam. Nigama means Vedas. Nigamanam of the Vedas. Of the Vedas. Aidamparyam. What is Aidamparyam? Aidamparyam means Tatparya, the purport, the chief aim. She is the purport of Vedas. I know all the Vedas, but I don't know anything about Devi. You cannot say that. Then you don't know Vedas. Because the chief aim of Vedas is Devi, to take you towards Devi, to take you towards Brahman. Brahman is Devi, Devi is Brahman. That is why she is saying Nigamanam Aidamparyam. So he never wants us to lose sight of the ultimate, the moksha, the aim, the jnana, the moksha, the attainment of Brahman. That is why, with all the descriptions of the feminine form, of all her karuna, of all her kataksha, he never wants us to lose sight of the ultimate aim. That is why he is coming again and again to this aspect. He said Aikatmya Prakriti. Now he is saying Nigamanam Aidamparyam. Aidamparyam means Tatparya, the chief aim. It comes from Idam Para. Idam Para means this is supreme. Para means supreme. Idam means this. This is the chief aim. This is the chief aim. Idam Para. The quality of Idam Para is Aidamparyam. That is the quality of being chief aim. She, in fact, personifies the quality of being the chief aim of Vedas. That is Nigamana Aidamparyam. So she is the wealth of Shiva. She is Prakriti, responsible for creating all of us, creating the universe. And she is no different from Brahman. There are no two, there is only one. She is the Shakti of Brahman. And she is seated in Kanchipuram for blessing us. And she is having Balachandra on her head. And she is the chief aim of the Vedas. Vedas, we chant only to attain her, not for any other purpose. She is the chief purpose, chief purport of Vedas. Yeah, next. Kalaye, I meditate. I Kalaye dhyana. I meditate on her. Whom? Shrita Kampa Seemanam. Seema we have seen before, the area of Kanchipuram. Kampa is the river. Kampa Seemanam, the bank of, the boundary of Kampa river. Shrita, she is there. She has taken refuge, means she is staying there. That is her abode. Kampa Seema is her abode. Shrita Kampa Seemanam. Ashrita, Shrita means taken residence in, taken abode in, on the banks of Kampa. Shithilita Paramashiva Dhairya Mahimanam. Mahimanam. One who is having the glory. What glory? Mahima is glory, one who is having the glory. What glory? Shithilita Paramashiva Dhairya. That is her glory. Paramashiva, his Dhairya. Dhairya means courage. His courage has been Shithilita. Shithilita means diminished, loosened, diminished, brought down. Paramashiva Dhairya has been brought down. That is her glory. Paramashiva, what is Paramashiva Dhairya? Paramashiva Dhairya was having victory over Manmatha. We have seen that. That is his Dhairya. Because of his Dhairya, he was able to burn Manmatha to ashes. Can anybody else do that? Nobody can think of that. So he was able to do that because of his Dhairya, of his courage. Now that courage has become Shithilita, has become weakened, has become diminished in presence of Devi. So he says, she is having, her glory is having diminished, having weakened the dhairya, the courage of Parameshwara. Kalaye Patalimanam, like we saw Karuna, compassion personified. Here also, no, not Patalimanam, it says Patalimanam on the screen, it should be Patalimanam. Patalimanam, Patalima means redness. Patalima means redness, red color. Now, Patalimanam means she is red color. Now, instead of saying red color, the person with red color, he is saying red color itself. That means he is associating red color with Devi as indistinguishable. That means Devi and red color are inseparable. That's why he says Patalimanam. I meditate on the red color, he says. He doesn't say, I meditate on Devi of red color. So red color is so much close to Devi, Patalimanam. Why it is close to Devi? Red color denotes Karuna again. Because of Karuna, she becomes red. Because of Jnana, you become white. Because of Karuna, you become red. So it denotes Karuna again. Kanchukita Bhuvana Bhumanam. Kanchuka means blouse, the upper garment of woman. That is Kanchuka, jacket. Kanchukita, having blouse of what? Bhuvana. Bhuvana, the world. The world is her blouse. Bhumanam, not only the world, Bhuvana, Bhumanam. Bhuma means the great expanse. The great expanse of the world, that is one meaning. Bhumanam can also be interpreted as the comforts of the world, the sukha, the wealth, the comforts, the sukha, they all come under the word bhuma. So bhuvana bhumanam, the expanse, the comforts, the wealth of the world is her kanchuka, her blouse, her jacket. Why he says kanchuka instead of vastra? He could have said vastra, isn't it? Vastrayata, he could have said. He didn't say that because vastra is the entire dress. Kanchuka means only blouse. Why he says that? Because this bhuvana, this wealth is nothing. It's a small part of her glory. If you say vastra, it means the entire dress. If you say kanchuka, it's a part of the dress, small part of the dress. That means the small part of her glory is this bhuvana bhuma, this wealth, this glory, this expanse, this universe is a very small part, indistinguishable part, very small part of her glory. That is why he says, Kanchukita Bhuvana Bhuma. So she is seated on the bank of Kampa river. Her glory is having diminished the courage of Paramashiva himself, who is the conqueror of Manmatha, and Devi is red color personified, Karuna personified, and her Kanchuka, her blouse is the entire world, the glory of the entire world, the wealth of the entire world. I think we have to stop now. I would invite questions now. Any questions on these 8 shlokas so that we can answer those questions before we go to the next 9th shloka in the next class. Yeah. Mm. Mauli is head. Mauli is head. Moon headed. That is Shiva. Ah, so Brahmachari is a student in the Gurukulam. Sub Brahmachari is a co-student, fellow student, classmate. Now, now he says, the poet says, Devi's eyes are a classmate of lotus. He does not want to say Devi's eyes are similar to lotus. He doesn't want to say that because then he brings lotus to the same level as Devi's eyes. He doesn't want to say that. He wants to say that Devi's eyes are a classmate of lotus. That means classmates need not be of the same caliber. Now Pankaja is a lower caliber, so he wants to say that in a future shloka. So he is keeping the foundation ready for saying. That is why he says Pankaja Sabbrahmachari. Vihriti means vihara, sporting, playing. Leela, performing Leela is Vihriti. Vihara and Vihriti same. Hmm. No. Paramashiva is known for the courage of having annihilated Manmatha himself. Everyone is subject to the influence of Manmatha. Now, instead of getting subject to influence of Manmatha, he killed Manmatha. That was his dhairya. Now, that kind of dhairya, he could not summon, he could not bring about in the presence of Devi. That we have seen before in an earlier shloka. In the 5th shloka, he said, "Na kamajetaram mohayati," he said. Because Devi is able to delude, bring moha to Shiva himself. So here he says, Shiva's dhairya has been shithilita, has been weakened. He had a lot of dhairya when he killed Manmatha. But that same dhairya is nowhere now to be seen in front of Devi. It is weak. It has become weak. Yeah, very nice. Yeah. Next Saturday, same time.